You guys wouldn't allow, like, if you were in a relationship,
Hell no.
you wouldn't allow your girl to have male friends?
Hell, why? First of all, why does she need to hang out with another guy for? Well, she got me.
He's telling you, he's not your husband yet, right? But he's telling you, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you going out with this guy friend of yours. I really don't feel comfortable with him calling you in the late night. And you continue to do it, you're being disobedient. Because essentially that's your future husband.
Because disobedient, I don't even play like that. Like, obey?
Yeah,
So you're married, and you just said that submission is cringe. Why is that cringe? Okay, so you're saying that you would not cut off your guy friend if you're in a relationship. Would you lose out on this guy, on this good man?
Come on.
Really want to know why. It has to be a reason.
So
it can't just be no reason. This is what I say, and this is either it's going to go this way and it's not going to go this way.
Because your guy friend like you and you want to smash. That's why.
You're choosing him.
Like,
you're choosing another man.
Why you with me? If you can't distance yourself from him, why are you even dating me? Go be with him.
Can men and women be platonic friends? Delusional answers from females. 3, 2, 1. Show of hands. Who believes that men and women can be platonic friends? Dang, she handing out the red flags.
I would agree.
Sorry, I love y'all.
You know what? We go over that so much, I don't want to go over it again. We're going to get to the next question. I would just say that the only way where the platonic friendship truly works is if the man treats the girl like one of the homies.
Yeah.
But most cases in the, that dynamic of a male and female being friends, well, the man has ulterior motives. One of them have ulterior motives of wanting to sleep with one another, right?
Yes.
So it's really not platonic. And most men, if they had the opportunity and they're your guy friend, they'll sleep with you, right? So it's not truly.
The friend will bust down the one who he is befriending. It only works if the guy actually friend zones the chick. If you got a chick that's around you and she happens to like you, but you keep her as like a helper, a homie or whatnot, she's not gonna cross that line. She's okay with just being the friend. Guys, on the other hand, he's gonna be the friend just to play long enough so he can get the yams after a while. But a chick just still will appreciate the energy of just being a friend. Even if she don't have you all the way, she cool with having you partially. But when it usually comes down to guys, we don't like that. That friend zone energy is gonna turn down into bust down hate over time.
If they could, not if we could be friends for so long that I never not think about sleeping with you. I think men are just naturally that way. They will sleep with anything that has two eyes and that has.
That's why men and women can't be platonic friends because they always want to smash.
You have to say so. Men can't be platonic friends with women, but I do believe women can be platonic friends with men.
Said for sure.
Well, no. It's actually a friendship. Like, think about this. Hypothetically, you and Pocahontas are friends. Right, Elaine. Hypothetically, you and her are friends. The only way it would be considered a true friendship if neither of you have ulterior motives, right? Meaning that you are aligned. But like, if you are going behind Elaine's back, then that isn't truly a friendship. You would say, right?
Yes, but she's also a woman, so this is not.
So I know.
It would be more like.
Yeah, no.
I have that.
I got you real quick.
Possibly.
So essentially, what I'm saying is, friendship in general. The term friendship means that no party has ulterior motives. You're on the same page. You're on the same frequency, right? Now the thing is, when it comes to men and women, if the man wants to have sex with you, even though he knows that you don't want to have sex with him, you're saying that, well, a woman is still a platonic friendship on her end. Well, no, it's not. It's not a friendship at all because he has ulterior motives. It breaks the friendship. I think that friendship means that no ulterior motives. So when I say that the only way it can truly work is if the man has friends with the woman and he doesn't have ulterior motives and he treats her like he treats one of the homies. Because
a lot of guys wouldn't even want to befriend a lot of women if it's not going to be an incentive later on down the line. A lot of these guys are only talking to females only for the reason of busting it down. If cheeks were not in the future, they probably would not be there. But the guys will wait as long as they can until the cheeks become available. They'll get close. They'll be that, damn near gay friend just for the chance to possibly sniff the yams.
I think in most relationships between men and women, the man, like if they go out together, the man is still probably gonna pay for some drinks. He's still gonna like protect her to a degree. Like, if someone like disrespects her, he's gonna be like, oh no, like, don't do this. Or he's still, and also the woman would still expect the man friend to protect her if something
Boyfriend energy
happens. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, if the man treats the woman like a homie, hey man, this all every man for themselves. You one of the homies.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not paying for your drink. I'm not going doing anything extra or going out of my way. No, it's equal. You got to give this the same what is it?
Effort.
The same treatment that I'm giving you, you got to give to me.
That is the only way it works. It has to be reciprocated with friend energy. And I hate to say this, it only works when it's on the guy's time.
Okay.
All right. Well,
So no, you can't be platonic friends with women.
Because it's not genuine. It's only genuine on one side.
generally no. There's always an exception to the rule if the man doesn't want to have
Just
sex
think
with
about
the
it.
woman,
It's
if the woman
fake.
doesn't want to have sex with the man.
Yeah. If I like you and I'm attracted to you, but you don't like me like that, I'm only gonna stick around in hopes you change your mind. So I'm not really being a genuine friend. I'm only doing it to get something out of it. Whereas if I don't like you like that and you don't like me like that, and we just hanging out because we both just cool with each other,
yeah.
and I don't want nothing secretly from you, you want nothing from me, that's a true friendship.
Right.
I'm not just sticking around because I'm in hopes that, you know what I'm saying?
But you
Mess
don't
around.
believe that those relationships can exist.
Yeah, if the man and the woman they're not attracted to each other, that's the only way.
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
way, too.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
So in that case, you don't allow.
And he
like,
got to treat her like a homie though too.
Yeah.
Like he can't be doing no extra stuff for her.
Like he got to be like, ew, go put a shirt on. Ew, cover up them. Like, ew.
Extra to you, like in like male friendship.
Like
with
extra
women.
is if like say hypothetically me and you are friends and we go out. Say we go into a club or something like that. You would still, like if I'm buying you a drink or something like that, that's extra. If that would be extra.
I buy my friends drinks all the time, girl or guy.
You know what the sad part is? I get it. When it comes down, if you have friends, sometimes you got man, I look out for my homie. He'll take care of the bill. I might take care of the bill. But when a female is involved, it changes things. The dynamic, the energy is just different when it comes down to how we pay for y'all. Even if you the homie, if I'm paying for your drinks, you getting a different type of energy. Granted, can I do it as a friend and we in a group situation? For sure. But it's still got to be one of them things where it's reciprocation. Are you paying for me just as well as I'm paying for you? But usually when that girl get that free drink, that boyfriend energy, she's gonna feel more of a boyfriend vibe opposed to just a homie vibe.
No,
That's fine. But you may buy them a drink, but they also then buy you a drink too, right?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's different. Like if it's
Okay.
equal,
Right.
Alright.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
if you're just accepting,
Yeah, no, I know. What
and you're
mean.
not returning it,
Yeah, I got you.
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah,
Like if the woman isn't reciprocating on the same level, then
favor for favor.
Right. But so in you guys' case, you guys wouldn't allow, like, if you were in a relationship,
Hell no.
you
You
wouldn't allow your girl to have male friends?
Hell, why? First of
Not
all,
allowed.
why does she need to hang out with another guy for? Well, she got me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is the other guy doing for her that I can't do?
You shouldn't have.
Why would you wait this long to find a guy that you like, that you appreciate, to now want to still communicate with other guys? Am I your guy? You feel me? Like, especially if I'm well rounded. What else do you need out there? Now I can provide guidance. I'm gonna tell a quick story real quick. Sorry for pausing it again. But when I first met my wife, we were like 17, 18. She had a friend named Brother Bear. Right, I shut that down immediately. Call me toxic, call me insecure. I grabbed the phone. Hey, quit talking to my girl. Gave her an ultimatum. What you gonna do? You gonna talk to him or talk to me? We see the outcome now. It is what it is.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't have male
relationship,
friends?
I don't care if
Why?
I've been
Do you
friends
need-
for like 5-8 years.
You gotta cut them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we say cut him off, meaning don't hang out. I'm not saying you can't speak to him ever again in your life, but like you're not hanging out with him. Like, why do you need to hang out?
If you think about it, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead,
if you think about it, the male that you're with, he's essentially courting you, right? So whatever you guys established when you first started talking, whether it's like dating to be in a relationship or dating to be in a relationship and then be married, you have to set those boundaries, because if he's not okay with this and this is somebody that you essentially want to spend the rest of your life with, you need to make those tough decisions. Again, it's also like, I kind of say it's kind of like a pre-submission. Like, if he's telling you, he's not your husband yet, right? But he's telling you, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you going out with this guy friend of yours. I really don't feel comfortable with him calling you in the late night. And you continue to do it, you're being disobedient. Because essentially that's your future husband.
Let her cook.
What I'm saying?
That face when she said
Because disobedient, I don't even play like that. Like, obey?
Yeah, obey.
Submission.
Yeah. Hold on. What's cringe?
Wait, time out, real quick. That's a good question.
See, women usually are they're upset with the words used. Obey, disobedient. Just because it sounds like we talking to a dog doesn't mean that the meaning has to change. It's going to be the same thing. Obedient. Like, that's almost like if someone say I have to be obedient to my family. Yes, I am obedient to my family. I have to make sure they are okay. Everything that encompasses me being a provider and protector, I am obedient. I am a slave to that fucking task at hand because that's my duty. If I give up and I fail, my family fails. So of course I'm a slave to it.
The late night.
So you're married and you just said that submission is cringe. Why is that cringe?
I didn't say that it was cringe. The way that she said pre-submission was cringe, because that's it.
That means
Because you're essentially like, what if the man is testing you to see if you're willing to submit to his will, which is he doesn't want to. Why would I test him? What's the point?
Meaning, like, if you want to get married, right? Don't you think you have to meet his qualifications if you want him to get on one knee, and vice versa? You expect you expect him to not hang out with other girls while you're in a relationship with him, to not, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, maybe not you per se, but if you know that there's a girl that likes him, and she knows she's in a relationship, you wouldn't want him to be around her. Because
in that case, no.
Exactly, because most men that are friends with a woman, notice how men are always friends with the women that are attractive, or that they at least find attractive.
Yeah.
They're never friends with the woman that's ugly, badly out of shape, stink, can't dress, has no attractive features going for them. They're always friends with a woman that they find attractive. You know what I'm saying? So if you want a man to, marry you, he wants to make sure that he can trust you. And what he's going to do is he's gonna like set boundaries, but also test you, like, and see, okay, will she listen to me or will she listen to this other man? Like, who's more important, the guy friend or your man?
Yeah.
I want to say this real quick. Reciprocation is key, but a lot of women sometimes, the reciprocation in 2025 is lopsided. We have to over reciprocate when women can bring the bare minimum. And it's not going to play out it's not going to work out well. You're going to have guys that's going to deal with it, but for the guy who actually understands and knows his value, do not deal with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whose advice is more important, your guy friend or your man?
So is a woman delusional for thinking her man is like, say for instance your man has business relationships with women. Is a woman delusional for thinking, no, my man isn't, interested in these women. He's just in business with them or he's friends with them?
Yeah, no, that's fine because that's business. Yeah, no, that wouldn't.
It doesn't make it delusional, but like,
that's two different things.
Right.
Like men and women, as far as doing business, you could go ahead and do business with one another and not have ulterior motives. Yeah. We're not saying that. And I don't think that the woman should, be having some trust issues because the person that her man is doing business with is a woman or an attractive woman. But that's just a different relationship dynamic as well. Yeah.
I would say in that situation, your girl need to mind her business. When it comes down to business activities on my end, if you're not a part of it, please mind your business. I think that's another problem that women do when you start having to communicate with females. Of course, the opposite sex or whatnot, they wanna overstep that boundary of being your woman. Who that is? Don't be talking. Nope. Don't get beat up. Stop it. Sit down. Let me handle business. Let me bring in this bacon, and you just go ahead and live the life that you're supposed to live.
Say something.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I really feel like Say, like, for example, I'm dating somebody, right? And they already had friends before we started dating. I'm not going to tell them, oh, now we're dating, so you need to cut them people off, don't cut them girls off. Those been his friends. Like, those his friends. I'm not insecure. I don't have trust issues, so I'm not going to be like, cut them off. I just feel like that's weird.
I got a question.
Okay, so you're saying that you would not cut off your guy friend if you're in a relationship. But here's I know you're saying for what, but now that could just be how you move. But if it's a guy that you really admire and respect, and this is one of his requirements, you wouldn't meet his requirement, and you would rather lose out on the opportunity of a guy that you admire and respect than to just comply to one of his requirements?
My question to him would be, why do I need to get rid of my friends?
Okay,
like I said, getting rid of the friend thing is going to be incumbent upon two situations. The age that you're at, it's going to be more attractive when you do it when you're a lot younger relationship. It just will be, trust me. When you get over a certain age, you will look insecure. You will, but guess what? You got to keep your boundaries. You got to keep your standards. It is what it is. If you're talking to guys all the time and I'm in your life now, you want to commit to me, you need to let them go. Or at least peel back. I'm gonna be honest. I know that we are grown adults. I know that you're going to have guys that you probably have been friends with, or whether it be family or whatnot, that are male figures. But if you chit-chatting and talking to these guys constantly too much, what's the history behind it? Have y'all had sexual relations or whatnot? Now, if that's the fact, you're bonded to somebody you don't even realize you bonded to. So it's gonna be harder for you to bond with somebody else.
Because
like,
that's one of his.
Has to happen for you to say
Nothing happens at all. It's just that's just one of his requirements. That's what he prefers. That's his preference. His preference is. You don't have to
comply.
Yeah, you don't have to comply. The thing is, well, my question is very simple. You got preferences. No one's getting on your preferences, right? And guys, a lot of guys, I would say almost all guys, we have a preference. We wouldn't want our woman having guy friends, right? So if that's his preference and he's a guy that you admire and respect, would you lose out on this guy, on this good man?
Come on.
Or would you just comply and adhere to one of his
I wouldn't
preferences?
Want to lose out on him, but I would really want to know
You
why.
would.
It has to be a reason.
So
it can't just be no reason, and this is what I say, and this is either it's going to go this way and it's not going to go this way.
Because your guy friend like you and you want to smash. That's why, man.
No, the thing is, you don't even have to give a why, right? There's preferences. There's things that you require in a relationship. Maybe you want the man to pay the bulk of the bills. Maybe you want the man to lead you. Maybe you want all of these things. What if he asks you, well, why do I have to pay all of the bills? Or why do I have to protect you? Why do I have to do these things? Say if the man started to question your preferences and the things that you require from him, you would be like, this is stupid.
Oh, he's insecure if he does that.
Why are you questioning me?
I get it.
And what I'm saying is,
Make a general statement too.
Yeah, it's rooted into. I'm saying that most men, they expect the woman really not to have any guy friends, or when they get serious, to create that distance between the guy friends and basically end those relationships. No more communication. That's what most men would expect and want.
I'll say this: once you bring that up to your female, if she has a friend, and let's say she's not going to stop talking to him, you best believe that's the beginning of the end of the relationship. It's over at that point. If she has any pushback contention, you ain't her guy. Just being honest. If you get in that situation and it's automatically met with contention, just be wary of the future with that woman. And you better put on the shot clock, because it's definitely a countdown. You don't know when it's going to implode, but it's coming.
When I hear that, when I hear a woman doesn't want to get rid of her guy friends, this is what goes to my mind. So you rather hang out with him than me. You rather talk to him than me. You rather spend more quality time with him than me.
You're choosing him.
You're
choosing another man.
The nigga then. Why you with me? If you can't distance yourself from him, why are you even dating me? Go be with him.
And I agree, but there are women out there that
But you
think
still want to ask
why. There's women out there that think like that. I personally don't think like that, but it's women out
fair
there
enough.
that think like that. That's why I said that.
No. Don't sit right here and say it's other women. You just say you don't want to let go of your guy friend. Stop it. You know you're going to try and hold on to. You talking about, there's other women think. No, it's you, because earlier in this podcast, she cheated on her previous guy, but then tried to backtrack and say, I'm not really a cheater. You just don't want to look bad on camera. And a lot of men operate like this. That's why you can't really believe the first thing they say. They want to be politically correct.
Question. You made a face when I said obedience. So let me ask you guys. When you hear the word obedience and submission, what do you think about? Like, what comes to your mind?
I think God. Submit to the will of God and God only. That's it.
Who's God?
Okay, so what God, like
who's
a
God?
Christian God, Muslim God? What God do you mean?
So
Base God?
everybody has their own idea of God. So
No, what's your idea of God?
Yeah, what's yours?
like my
Is it
idea.
Christ? Is it Allah?
No. So I believe in God as like a universal being, like a spirit in a spiritual sense, like a spirit. I don't believe in God as like a person or a man in that sense. Like I believe in God as in like you don't have to be a Buddhist, you don't have to be a Christian, you don't have to be Muslim to actually inherit the kingdom of God. Like I don't believe in that.
Okay, so you're saying that you would only submit to God. You would not submit to a man.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is where it gets dicey. She just, because I understand exactly where she's coming from when it comes down to getting to religious doctrine, the whole nine. But you said that you will only submit to God, but in your mind, God isn't an actual being. So how are you going to submit to something that's not a being? I will say this, I do believe us as guys, and I would say guys, that we can be godlike. And the feminine side of that, they can be godlike. But how can you sit right here and say that, you wouldn't submit to something that's supposed to be in the figure of the creator or whatnot, or the grand scheme of things? See, what she just did was contradict herself, because you're never going to submit to God, because God isn't going to be a physical thing. So you should just go ahead and erase that and not say that again, because you're going to sound stupid saying that I will only submit to God when you don't even view God as an actual being or entity.
Okay.
What is your direct question?
What comes to your mind when you hear the word obedience and submit?
Oh yeah, my father. I think of like a dad, or like
That's what we are.
like
That's what we are.
something of that magnitude. When I think of my husband, because I feel like that's something that it needs to be said. So in a marriage, it's like, how can I say it? It's like I live on Saturn and you live on Pluto, and we decide we want to get married and start a life together. So it's a decision of, am I going to jump on your planet, or are you going to jump on your planet? But there's going to be a leap of faith.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what are...
I didn't even finish, but go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because now I think I lost it. But what did you want to say?
So what is your husband's responsibility to you? Like, just for your...
He's the center of my world. He's everything to me.
But as your husband...
Let's just say, is your husband essentially your father?
Yeah.
Is he my father?
Your father had roles of protecting and providing for you and wanting the best from you?
Which he lacked. So I think in the light of me admitting to have had daddy issues, I look at my husband as being more of a partner, and like we're walking through life hand in hand. But there are most certainly days where I'll have a conversation with him, and it's like, well, how you feeling? And it's like, I'm at a good 20, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna eat this 80 for you. And then it might be a day where I'm like, I'm at like 10. I'm at 10, and he's gonna eat the 90.
Yeah, but you don't look at it as like equal though.
Let me say this real quick. Any woman that has these daddy issues that are so vocal and upfront about it and automatically wants a partner, you get points deducted off of your final score. You get points deducted, because now you are technically going to be considered damaged goods, especially if you out there verbally saying it. You are damaged goods at this point. There is no way you're going to be able to come into a situation with a guy who's had a healthy family situation or structure and him not view you to follow his lead or whatnot.
I think there are some things that can be equalized in a marriage, but if I had to like I'm never gonna sit here and tell you guys that I'm gonna put like, I'm not going to pedestalize my marriage. I'm not going to say that there needs to be one person that's at the forefront, because when you see him, you see me, and vice versa. So I
think what Ease was trying to get at was, because she asked the question, what comes to mind when you hear obedience and submission? You said your father.
Yeah.
Ease asked the question. He's basically, since you're a married woman, he's saying that, well, traditionally speaking, you know, and also that relationship dynamic that the father played, the father is handing his daughter off to a man that can basically fill his role.
Yep.
So essentially, that the husband is the new father role, right?
He is definitely gonna exhume some of those characteristics.
Right. So then the question is,
I 100%.
Then the question is, since you view obedience and submission as like your father or a father, do you view obedience and submission as your husband?
In some ways, yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
I have no problem with saying I submit to my husband in some way, shape, or form.
And that's what Natalie...
It's not in a traditional way as you guys would see it.
And that's what Natalie meant when she said, you know, be obedient to your husband. Basically...
Well, it was how she got to that point where it was like this submission thing. I
got it. Here's how we can make a clear distinction of this. In your marriage, who has the final say?
Boom.
Well, I mean, about what?
So,
because I think in a marriage, I think what needs to be understood is that it's a constant compromise. It's not, it's my way or the highway. That's not now.
So if it's the case that a compromise cannot happen, meaning that it's just something, it's hypothetical, right? So hypothetically speaking, I just want to know how you view your relationship. It's not about anything that ever happened in a relationship, but how you view it, how you view your marriage. So if it's the case that a compromise cannot happen, there's a disagreement, you're not agreeing, right, on this situation, and he's not budging at all. He is not willing to agree. Well, in order for the relationship to go on, somebody has to
be the tiebreaker.
Cave in. Someone has to say, you know what, we'll go with what you want to do.
Yeah.
So my question is, would that be you, or would that be your husband? Who's going to be the one that's going to break and have that, give the final say?
That's an open-ended question.
No, it's not.
I'll bend, but I won't fold. And it's the same with him. He'll bend, but he won't fold.
That does not make any sense. If we talking about, we got to buy this appliance opposed to this appliance. And both of y'all got strong. One appliance is getting bought. One is not. So you can't say I bend, but I won't fold. If it's for somebody you got to relinquish your ability to vote sometimes. What are you going to do? Is it going to be the guy doing it or you doing it? Let's see.
I have an example.
Okay, real quick. I'll save that thought. I do want you to ask it. Here's what I'm saying.
I know what
so there's no compromise could happen.
No compromise.
No one is compromised. You can't come to any type of, empath. There's an empath that you can't come to, right?
I'm trying to put myself in a scenario where that happened.
Well, don't even think about that it happened. It's hypothetically speaking that you can't compromise. Now, my question to you is how you view your relationship. Do you view yourself as the type of woman that loves and respects and admires her man and trusts her man that you would yield the authority and the final decision to your man to move past this thing that we can't compromise about? Do you view yourself like that or no?
I mean, yield is a much better word.
It's all about words.
Yes, it is. It's about the language, because when you're speaking about something that you're not necessarily in, like a marriage, you want to make sure you're speaking the right information, especially to an audience so big, because a marriage is a constant. It's not, I don't want to call it a job, but it is work.
It's a duty. It's a duty for sure.
Right?
Okay.
And with, this word of duty also.
Okay, so if you're thinking about that, right, we can use.
She don't seem like she's happy in her relationship, just being honest.
that analogy. If it's like work, if it's like a job, things like that, then is your man the manager? The manager has the final say.
So, like, I'm gonna break it down more of like,
Okay, she trying.
like, there's an executive chef and there's a sous chef, and like our roles interchange. There will be times where he will be executing and I will be following behind him, and then there will be times where I'm sweeping the floor and he's coming behind me with the mop.
Okay, so here's what I want to say. If there's ever a time where now this happens, like the man, if there's a situation and a compromise can't be made, and let's say the woman goes ahead and yields and say, okay, honey, we'll do what you want to do. He may still take in consideration what she said, and he may still, you know what? Thanks for that, but I like what you said, and we're gonna go with your way. Meaning that he still has the final decision.
True.
He's still the one that's making the final decision to go with what
You said.
he wants or with what you want, because you yielded, right? Now my statement is, if it's the case that the woman is the one that has the final say and the man is yielding, right? And he's giving the woman the authority to make that final decision, well, she's the leader in the relationship.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more complicated than that. I think that if we just look at on a worldwide basis, there are more women leading in the highest positions that exist than there are males.
No, it's not.
This country, I mean, there's more female presidents than there are male presidents, and that is 100% a fact. And
You
talking
said
about
more
worldwide.
female presidents than there are male presidents.
Yes, worldwide, correct.
Worldwide?
Yes.
That's a lie.
Okay. Well, I will stand on that, 10 toes down.
Okay, Dan, you want to go ahead and Google that, and we can bring it up, because I'm thinking about Africa, which is their very patriarchal continent with a lot of countries.
Yeah, 52, I think, to be exact.
Yeah, if you were to look at certain places that will probably have the most matriarchal structures, will probably be more Africa, and it's still very patriarchal. They're not going to have a lot of female they're not going to probably have any female leaders, just being honest.
I think that, and you could be right. This could be with the indoctrination of feminism. Right. I won't be surprised. But Google that real quick, Dan. Turn off that light. Thanks. It's on
But what
censor.
I was trying to lead to is that there has been historically a lot of female leaders and led empires and led armies through wars and things like that, and she still had a husband, right?
Dan, just go to Google. You're on Yahoo.
Google. I got it up. He saw it though. Like you saw it on the screen.
Okay, what does it say?
It says there are more men presidents and women presidents. So
Okay, pull it up. Thanks.
And as of when?
20
All right,
countries.
so this gives the proof that there are more male presidents than there are female presidents, and you can put it on a big screen. Then you can make it big so they can just see it.
Yeah, 20 countries.
All right, there we go. All right, so that's the proof.
Taiwan,
Now you can stop sharing that.
Tanzania.
I knew I was right. I'm usually always right. But anyways, you wanted to make a point in regards to on a
Wrong.
world population level about
Worldwide,
basically there's a lot of women in leadership roles. So what was the example you was going to make? I'm sorry, go ahead.
It wasn't an example. The point that I was going to make is that I think sometimes we get stuck with this ideal of there needs to be a leader and what that leader usually looks like, and we always try to kind of put the face of a male on that when, like I said, historically, even now, there are women who have literally led, like I said, men through wars who have.
Hey, just because you watch The Woman King with Viola Davis does not mean that it's realistic. Stop. This woman is very modern. I can only imagine how her relationship structure is set up. The guy definitely folds. He definitely bends. You can tell she definitely runs. She got an Air Force pilot type jacket on. That lets you know what type of woman she is. This woman probably is very masculine, just being honest. And the things that she's saying, you already could tell. She don't speak too highly of her relationship. She don't seem too happy about it. I could tell she definitely play a masculine position.
been leaders of empires, just like there were males, and they've always had a significant other. So how would you have imagined?
I don't want that.
I don't know who's the popular. Oh, Cleopatra. When she was, if she was a queen for as long as they say, and
This
when
is
she
scary.
was her significant other or spouse, what do you think they were doing? Envying her or supporting her through her leadership?
So do you believe the husband is the man of the household or no?
Well, yeah, they most certainly can be the man.
Good
They
ideas.
are. I mean, they're the only man there until you start having kids.
Okay,
That's
so
really-
real quick on your history thing, I don't think that. So you're saying that there's been like currently right now with the indoctrination of feminism and stuff like that, in the movement towards egalitarianism, which is men and women, the idea that men and women are equal. I think that currently right now, this is why you're seeing some countries having some women presidents. But we just Googled it and Google proved me right that there are more male presidents than there are female presidents. But then you went to history in the past. I would say in the past, it was even more patriarchal than it is right now. Like currently right now, it's a little bit more matriarchal. There's more women in leadership positions only because men give women rights to be in those positions. But in the past, it was very patriarchal where men weren't giving women any type of rights like that. So what history are you pointing to?
I don't think that it was necessary. Like this idea of rights, I mean, yeah, that's very that's a very political word, but
What?
there have been known queens that have led. I mean, look at Queen Elizabeth.
I don't think this woman understand how power is actually, it ain't given, it's taken, just being honest. So men usually give women, the women who are in these high prominent roles, it's because men have allowed it. Because men usually get power by force. If you take a woman and a man, usually the man is going to be a lot more stronger and violent, so he's going to be able to take that force a lot easier. That's why the men fight it out. And the women who are on the side of that guy end up getting put in certain positions of power. That's the way how the game go. This woman just don't understand biology at this point.
Just perished. She had a husband. Now he's the king. So my point is that there's been in the past and in most history, it doesn't matter where, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, she only became a queen because she was married to the king, but then the king died, and this is why she's the queen. Like she didn't actually like accomplish and earn that position on her own without a king.
Exactly.
And it's always
because she inherited it. It wasn't because you said right, so she had the right to that throne because her father died.
Yeah, but only because men allowed her that position. Men gave her that position. Like she
Well, who
couldn't
else would
take.
have gone to. She was the natural heir.
Even if she's the natural
Her
heir,
older
if
sister.
but if we're speaking about rights, even if she was the natural heir to the throne, if men didn't want her to be the heir to the throne, then she wouldn't be the heir to the throne.
They can overthrow it.
Yeah, that's all I'm
I'm
saying.
not disagreeing, but 'cause
Well,
then they would be you guys have rules that you set and stuff like that. Then they would essentially be breaking their own rules that they put in place.
Well, yeah, that happens all the time. Like men always think about even how America was founded. It was like, oh well, they fought against the country in Great Britain and they escaped and they went over here and found America, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Uncovered, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, to make it clear, when you're bringing up history, like past history,
My point
I
was
don't
just
think
that
of any
there was
time.
women in leadership positions even before now, and they also had spouses, which how other kings were born.
But what I'm saying is they were in those leadership positions and it's more of a privileged position. They actually didn't earn it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Do you agree with that or no?
Could be two truths at the same time. I don't think a lot of men naturally earned a lot of things too. I think a lot of them inherited things as well, if we're speaking in that time period. But yeah, I can't say everything that men have had in their life they earned or didn't gain out of legitimacy.
Well,
You tripping, bro. This woman is cooked. Oh my God, this woman is cooked. I'm gonna continue a little bit longer and I'm gonna end it.
I see what you're saying now. My point is very simple. When we're speaking about the genders, the sexes, right? Men and women, I'm saying that, well, men are the ones that grant rights. Like rights is just a social construct. It's a construct in the mind, right? But men are the enforcers of rights. They enforce every right that you have. Women, they can only appeal to men to enforce their rights. So like women collectively together, they cannot enforce their own rights because they don't have the physical capabilities to enforce it like men can. Because if they did say, oh, we have rights, men would come over, conquer them, and they don't have any rights. But men, you get men collectively to come together, strong men, right? They can uphold rights, give women rights, give other men rights, but women can't do the same for themselves and they can't do it for men. So when I'm speaking about rights, this social construct in our mind, in order for it to become reality, is going to be at the helms of men. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So when I say that, when we're speaking about leadership positions, well, it's never truly accomplished like that because men allowed you that leadership position. Oh. But also men allowed other men that leadership position though too. You feel what I'm saying? But it's only men that's allowing it, not women. Like women aren't out there just getting this position themselves. No, they're afforded that position by other men.
That's an interesting point of view.
Yeah.
I saw that it's interesting, but I'm gonna leave it at that point right there. This woman is cooked. We got two things to unpack right now: guy friends and the dynamics between men and women. Everybody was a little off, and it's kind of crazy that people were that far off, especially with having the guy friends. And then when it comes down to actually having a husband in a household, but let's get on to the guy friend part. If I come in, taking care of, relieving stress from your life, funny, you sexually attracted to me, I'm tearing it up, and you know everything is great. Why are you still holding on to all these? See, here's the thing about it. Some of these women will keep these guys in the background to make jealous. They'll tell them about the situation. They'll tell them how good it is, how great it is, simultaneously while trying to extract that energy to feed the energy that she has with her boyfriend still. It's very strange how women operate a lot of the times because some of these guys, they don't even care about that much all the time. And here's the thing about it. If you do care about him that much, you probably just need to be with him because no healthy guy is going to be okay with you talking to other guys in the house at night, on the phone, over 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20, a guy, unless it's your brother, cousin, a family member, that's the only way. But any guy that's had a past with you, hopefully y'all ain't slept together. If that's the case, y'all really cooked. He and you cooked. But your new guy is not going to accept it. So I think that's one of the quickest things a woman really needs to understand is that when you get with a guy, be prepared to get ready to at least relinquish some of your guy friends or at least pull back some. And a lot of guys probably wouldn't even say nothing because they don't want to be viewed as insecure, narcissistic, controlling, toxic. So they gonna be cool with it. They don't even want to bring it up. They just don't want you to embarrass them doing it blatantly in their face all times of night, disappearing, leaving the house. That's you getting into very disrespectful territory. And now when it comes down to Ms. Military Jacket, on the structure between men and women, when it comes down to how much men actually handle the leadership role, there's always going to be one leader in the relationship. But you see how far they had to go from her boyfriend or husband having the final say on talking to other guys, then having the final say in their relationship. Fast forward and even further to where history and how men had leadership and women also have leadership, she was running around the question wholeheartedly because you could see her mindset couldn't even fathom. But guess what? She had no daddy. She said she had daddy issues. Those daddy issues are going to be present heavily in her process on how she thinks. Now, she's not going to see how this structure of the dynamic actually is supposed to work, especially if she didn't have a good one. That's going to already be a bad situation. But a lot of the times us as men will get with these women trying to fix them, hoping that we can change them. It ain't no changing. I wouldn't be surprised if this woman already done cheated on her husband and just don't tell him about it. She keeping it, a secret because she probably definitely feel like she's a boss just as well as him. Here's the thing about it. Your woman is a boss in her own right in a relationship. But we just only saying when it comes down to certain decisions, somebody gonna have the final say. But most of the time, you want, just like in any company or any structured business, just because you could have two high-ranking people, officers, whatever, but one is still gonna be slightly higher than the other one. That's the way how to relate. That don't mean you ain't got no power. You a high level general. But I'm going to be the president, commander in chief, so I still oversee the final say so, and it's okay. And I think once we understand hierarchies in the real world, everything will be okay. You won't feel even for the guys, you won't feel as upset when your boss tell you to do something or a manager tell you to do something. You won't have this contentiousness to you can't tell me what to do. Who are you talking to me? It's a hierarchy to everything. But sometimes we just don't want to accept hierarchies. I'm okay with it. I understand that there are people that are more competent than myself that have to tell me what to do. And I have to respect that, handle my job, play my position how it's supposed to be played, and don't feel triggered about someone telling you something to do all the time. And men and women need to work on that. That's not a woman thing. That's a man thing as well. A lot of guys have a problem with authority. But once you open your mind up and you're aware of everything around you, you will be able to move 100% how you're supposed to move, and you'll have more understanding. And you'll know if you need to be in something or not in something. But when we lose sight on all this, when we don't understand hierarchy and control, now we end up with women like this, we be in horrible situations. Make sure y'all like the video. I have this link in the description where y'all can watch this in its entirety. Cooley definitely was cooking the whole 9. We had 2 delusional women off the jump, the black shirt, Air Force jacket, crazy. Make sure y'all comment on the video. Y'all like the video. This is JayBReacts, y'all, and until next time, peace.